Welcome to Bazaar, a money town game. 2 players, individuals, or couples can play from 1 to 2 hours. Dominate this curious marketplace in the outskirts of Moneytown. Deploy your personal combination of vendors, devious tricks, shrewd maneuvers, and pure luck to thwart your opponent's plans, and to collect the most money out of the kooky shoppers wandering down the aisle. Game components. The game board. Cards. Reference cards. Vendor cards. Shopper cards. Bazaar cards. Expert Bazaar cards marked with an E in the lower left corner. Tokens. Play tokens. Start token. Days 1 tokens. Frozen and bought tokens. 5 and 3-point tokens. Currency. Dead presidents. Cheddar. Lettuce. Bread. And bucks. Game setup. Cards. Shuffle all the decks before you put them on the board. Bazaar cards. Put the Bazaar cards on the face-down Bazaar draw pile. If it's your first couple of times playing, take out the Expert Bazaar cards. Shopper cards. Shopper cards go face-up on the face-up shopper draw pile. Vendor cards. Vendor cards go on the face-down vendor draw pile. Place 5 Bazaar cards on the face-up Bazaar card spaces. Place 4 shopper cards on the shopper start spaces, marked with a green circle. Place 1 vendor in each player's hand. Also note that each player has a built-in vendor printed on their side of the board. Tokens. Give each player 5 one-play tokens. Place them on the plays left counter on their side of the board. Flip the start token to see who goes first. Put it on the winner's side of the board. Put the 1-day 1 tokens, 5 and 3-point tokens, bought and frozen tokens on the side of the board. Currency. Also put the currency on the side of the board. Each player picks 5 of whatever currency they want to put in their wallet. Game at a glance. The player holding the start token makes the first play of the day and of the game. Play options include purchases, shoppers, cards, and pass, which will be described in detail later. Alternate turns until both players have each made 5 plays. This person will make a play, then this person will make a play. Then it'll go back to this person who will make a play, this person will make a play, and so on until all 5 of the play tokens are used up on both sides of the board. Call it a day. Tally earnings to determine the day's winner, which will be described in detail later. Reset the board, which will be described in detail later. The first player to win 5 days wins the game. This will be described in detail later. Play options. Note. You can only buy booths and play vendors on your side of the board. This is one side of the board, and that is the other side of the board. Purchases. Note, you must use the same currency type for any purchase play. Purchasing a booth. Each booth has its price printed on it. For example, this booth costs 1, this one 3, 2, 2, 2, and 1. For example, I take 3 dead presidents from my wallet. Note, they are the same currency. Put them in the bank, take a bot token, put it on the booth that I just purchased, and take a play token from my play's left counter. A booth note. The booth stays bought until you play a vendor on it.
Purchasing a vendor card.
The price of a vendor card is 5 of the same currency. For example, I will use 5 bread to purchase a vendor. When I buy a vendor, I take 3, and I pick 1, the one I find most helpful. When I buy it, I'll put it in my hand, put the rest on the bottom of the vendor deck, then take an action from my play's left counter. Vendor card note. It costs an extra play to play a vendor from your hand.
Purchasing a Bazaar card. The cost of the Bazaar card is printed in the top right corner. The currency that you need to use to buy it is on the bottom.
For example, this one costs 1 bread, 5 lettuce, 2 dead presidents, 3 cheddar, and $3. I'm going to buy the fish slinger with $3 from my wallet. When I buy the fish slinger, I will take the $3 and put them in the bank. I'll then put this in my hand or play it immediately, depending on what I want to do. I'll then move over the Bazaar cards 1 space and put a new Bazaar card in the empty slot. Finally, I will take the play token from the play's left counter bar. This will indicate that it is the next person's turn. Note, there is no limit to how many Bazaar cards and vendor cards you can have in your hand. Play options continued. Shopper plays. Shoppers have 3 different kinds of plays: freeze, move and freeze, and replace and freeze.
Freezing a shopper.
If you like where a shopper is placed, you can put a frozen token on it, implying that it will stay there the rest of the day.
Note, some Bazaar cards will allow you to unfreeze shoppers.
Moving and freezing a shopper. You can move a shopper 1 space and freeze it. If a shopper is right next to another shopper, you can jump the shopper and then freeze it. If a shopper is close to the edge of the board, you can push it to the other side and freeze it. Replace and freeze. If you do not like a shopper that is on the board, you can discard it, putting it on the bottom of the shopper pile. Take the shopper that is on the top pile, put it anywhere you like, and then freeze it. Remember, when you freeze a shopper, move and freeze, or replace and freeze a shopper, you have to take a 1 play token out of your play's left counter.
Card plays from your hand.
There are 2 different types of cards that you can play from your hand: vendor cards and Bazaar cards.
Playing a vendor card.
When you want to play a vendor card from your hand, you place it on a bot booth, put the bot token in the bank, take a 5 points token, and put it in your today's earnings box.
Playing a Bazaar card from your hand.
Play a Bazaar card from your hand by following the instructions on the card. Unless the card says otherwise, discard after use. Remember, after playing a card from your hand, take a 1 play token from your play's left counter.
Playing an assistant.
Play an assistant by putting it on top of any of your played vendors. An assistant is worth 3 or 5 points, depending on which vendor you place it on. For example, if I place Fantastique on Sammy's Spigot, I will receive 5 points in my today's earning box. But if I place her on Eduardo, I'd only get 3 points. The assistant errand boy does not have a specific vendor that you can place him on. No matter which vendor you place him on, you will make the normal 3 points.
Remember that once you have played an assistant, you have to take off a 1 play token from your play's left counter bar.
For a play, you can move an assistant to another vendor, but do not put the 3 or 5 points token in your today's earning box. Take off a 1 play token from your play's left counter.
Pass play.
Your last play option is to pass. If you have nothing left to do, you can take one of your Plays Left tokens, flip it over, and get 3 of any currency.
In any combination from the bank. Call it a day.
Once both players have used all 5 of their one-play tokens, the day is over. Now it's time to collect the shopper's money. Vendors and their assistants can collect money from shoppers that are adjacent to them.
Vendors are adjacent to shoppers if an orange arrow connects them.
For example, this vendor booth is adjacent to this shopper space and this shopper space. This booth is adjacent to this one, and this booth is adjacent to this one, and this one. The vendors printed on the board collect all currency types.
Vendors can only collect from shoppers that spend the money that they collect.
Let's go through the example. This shopper offers 2 cheddar and 2 bread. This vendor collects cheddar and this assistant collects bread. This box would have 2 cheddar and 2 bread in it. This vendor is adjacent to this space, and this space. He can make $3 from that shopper, but he cannot make anything from this shopper. On the other side, the built-in vendor collects everything. So this person would have put 1 lettuce, 1 dead president, and 1 bread into their box. And remember, it's important to take money from the bank and put it in your today's earnings box instead of in your wallet. Now it's time to determine today's winner. This person made 2 bread, $3, 2 cheddar, and 3 points. This person made 1 dead president, 1 bread, and 1 lettuce. This person had 10 points, and this person had 3 points. Therefore, this person wins. They get a Days 1 token. They will put this Days 1 token in their Days 1 counter box.
Prepare for tomorrow, reset the board.
Take all the currency from your today's earning box and put it into your wallet. Put the 3 points token back in the bank. Take the start token and give it to the other player. Put all the one-play tokens back in the Play Left counter box. Take the Bazaar card at the end and put it into the Bazaar discard pile. Move all the other Bazaar cards over 1 space. Then draw a new Bazaar card. Unfreeze all the shoppers that were frozen, but leave them in the spots that they are.
Winning the game.
Whoever wins 5 days first wins the game.
Playing with expert Bazaar cards.
Shuffle all the Bazaar cards marked with an E into the deck. At the end of each day, instead of replacing just one face of Bazaar card, replace them all.
Good luck, chicken.